Hello everyone, my name is Zuka, and in this video we will talk about a PvX build order, so a build order that you can use against all races. I already did 2 videos about this, one with a Colossus Stalker composition and one with a Stalker Immortal Archons composition. You can find the links in the description of this video, but here I will show you another style, something more passive but really strong, and I think that this build order is really good for beginners simply because it's a passive playstyle and you will learn a lot about how to scout, how to defend, and of course how to expand, which is probably one of the most important things in StarCraft 2. I know that many people want a Bronze 2 Master using this build order. If you want this build order, tell me in the comment section below, and if you reach 2000 likes in this video, I will do it. Of course, if you don't follow me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's totally free and it's one of the best way to support what I do. Let's go! We are on Pillars of Gold. I'm the red Protoss at the top right corner and there is a blue Terran at the bottom left corner. We'll go in my vision and I will explain you the build order and how it works. So we will start with a wall in front of the natural expand, so a pylon at 14, and then I will scout my opponent, so I will check what he does. So don't forget that this build order works against all races. That's the reason why I do this kind of wall. If you play against the Zerg, you need this wall. If you play against a Terran or Protoss, you can do this wall. It's not really important. It works. It really works. Then I scout him and I will check what he does. So how many gas, the timing of the first building, if he had an expand or something like this. So after this, I will add my first gas at 17. Like this, gas at 17, and now I scout. So what you need to scout, if it's a Terran player, you will check if there is a Rax in his main base, of course. If there is no Rax, it's probably a proxy. You will check the number of gas, so here there is only 1 gas, and of course if there is another Rax, it's really strange. You simply want to see if it's something aggressive or if it's a macro playstyle. If it's a Zerg player, you will check if you see the spawning pool. If at this timing you see the spawning pool, it's really strange, and if the spawning pool is almost finished, it's totally a 12 pool and you will need a specific defense. I did a video about this. I will add it in the description of this video. Against the Protoss player, at this timing, he should have his gateway and 1 or 2 gas. If he doesn't take his second gas, just steal his gas and you will see that the game will be really easy. In a PvP matchup, if one player doesn't have 2 gas, he will probably lose because the technology is really important. If you are a beginner, these informations are more than enough, so you can go back to your base with this probe. So in my base, I will put 3 probes in this gas and I will add another gas at 19. So I will play on 2 gas, but as you can see, the most important thing at this timing is to have 16 probes in the mineral line, simply because you want to take a really fast expand. It's simple. If the opponent play something macro, so you didn't see something aggressive, you will expand before your first unit. If you see something aggressive, you will do your first unit and you will instantly add 1 shield battery to help your first unit. So as you can see, cybernetic core at the end of the gateway, and I will add the second pylon at this position. This position is important because now I can add a 1 shield battery here in case of defense, and I can hide my technology at this position. And you will see that my technology will be really important. If you can hide your technology, it's way better. So here I didn't see something aggressive, so I can simply expand at 23, as you can see. So expand now. After this, I will do my first unit. So you can do the first unit or you can do the technology first. To be honest, I recommend you to do the first unit before. It's better, it's way better. So first unit, Wargate. And then I will add my technology, which is the Stargate. Stargate is really good, but it can be hard to play with the Stargate. So I will explain you how I play with the Stargate. So here I put my Stargate here. So it's always depend. Because in this map I play against a Terran player. I know that he can scout me with his Reaper at this position. That's the reason why I put my Stargate at this position. But in most of the game you will add your technology here. But don't forget that I will add more technology, so having this pylon here is important too. So as you can see, I go directly at this position because I fear the Reaper. After my first unit, I will add another unit. So 1 unit for this base and 1 unit for this base. If you play against a Zerg player, 2 units here are important. If you play against a Protoss player, you will put your 2 units here. I will add my shield battery to help me with the defense. And first unit. So first unit is really important. You have 2 choices. You can do Oracle first if you feel good with Oracle playstyle, or you can go directly to Voidry. So Oracle is good because you can kill some workers, and it's good to scout and for defense too with a stasis trap. But yeah, if you want to play a really passive playstyle, Voidry first is a good choice too. It really depends of the game. Most of the time I will do the Oracle if he didn't scout my Stargate, but if he scout my Stargate, I will go to Voidry directly because he will defend against something like this with a Sky unit. And after my Oracle, I will add my Robotic. You will see that your gas will be really important. So of course, when I have my second base, I will put 3 probes in each gas. Don't forget that the replay is in the description of this video, and I put another replay which is against a Zerg player, the same build order against a Zerg player. Okay, so Oracle, Chrono Boost, and then Voidry directly. Don't forget that if you fail this timing and if you are a beginner, that's probably because you don't have a good economy. The most important thing here is to never stop the probe production, except if you need to put a specific technology. For example, if you need a Stargate, if you need your Robotic or things like this, you can cut your probe production, but try to never cut it. I send my Oracle and I will try to do some damage here. Of course, I know that I play in Master and I will probably not be able to do it. So if there is something like a Cyclone, I can't do any damage. But as you can see, I know that there is one Starport, there is the Tech Lab, so probably Raven, and there is a factory here with a Tech Lab, so probably Cyclone or tanks. Okay, so I know that he will not attack me now. The big problem here could be something like 3 racks. If he has 3 racks, I know that he will attack me, so I will need more defense. Simply more defense. But now I know that he is playing a standard playstyle, so it's okay. So after my first Oracle, I do 1 Voidry. And I have my Robotic too. With the Robotic, you will need 1 observer. It will be helpful in every matchup. Against Zerg and Terran, you will see his army composition, and if you go outside of his base. And against a Protoss player, it will be helpful against GT. So I'm Immortal or Observer first. It will really depend. If you want to defend, you will need an Immortal. If you want to scout fast, you will need an observer. In many games, if I didn't make an Oracle first, I will do observer first. Other time, I will simply go to Immortal, and I will go to the Robotic. So don't forget that I took my 2 gas when I have around 10 probes in the mineral line, because I will need a lot of gas. You need a lot of gas here. You really need a lot of gas. Because making Immortal Voidry cost a lot. And after this, I will go to Carrier Colossus. Yes, Carrier Colossus. Which is really strong. Really strong. Okay. So Robotic and Immortal is coming. Okay. So as you can see, he's playing something really strange. When I scouted him, I saw the Starport and the Tech Lab without any research. So in my mind, it was Raven, but it was Banshee. It was Banshee. Really strange to play like this, but okay, it can happen. It can happen. Sometimes it can happen. As you can see, what is good here is that I play really defensively. So here I send my 2 Void Ray here. In case of a drop, I will be in a good position to defend it. You don't really need to do this kind of thing against a Zerg and against a Protoss, but against a Terran, when I have 2 Void, I always send them at this position to be ready. But don't forget that if you are below the Master League, it will almost never happen. After my 3rd Void Ray, I will try to expand. So here I take it at 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Keep in mind that if you took an attack, you will expand later, of course. Try to always expand when you feel safe. If you don't feel safe, simply don't expand. Simply don't expand. Okay, Void Ray, Observer. And after the Observer, I will start my Colossus. My first Colossus. Yes, right now. So here my defense is 2 Stalkers, 3 Void Rays, 1 Immortal, and my Colossus will come really soon. And of course I have 1 shield battery here. I use my Oracle with a Stasis Trap. It's really good, I think. I think that it's really good if it tries to, for example, attack with a Steam, or if it's a Protoss player with a Zero Charge or Mass Zerling, you will simply block his army and you will kill the army in 2 times. Half of the army will be stunned. Okay, Colossus, Void Ray. In terms of upgrades, I will go directly to upgrades for sky units, because the most important thing here is to go to carriers. So carriers are just too strong. But the hard thing with carriers is not playing with them, it's having them. It's having time to build them. Simply because if you go directly to carriers, the opponent will attack you and will win. That's the reason why I go to Void first, then 1 Immortal to help me for defense, then I go to Colossus to help me to kill ground units. With this army composition, it's really hard to beat you. It's simply very hard to beat you. But you don't have to attack. If you attack the opponent with this army, you will lose, because you don't have enough, you don't have shield batteries to help you. So this army composition will work if you have a lot of units. Simply if you have a lot of units. So as you can see, I go to the fleet beacon at around 6 minutes and 30 seconds, around this timing. And I always make Colossus. So Colossus, the right number of Colossus is 3 if you play against a Terran player. If you play against a Zerg player, 4. And against a Protoss player, for me it's 4 or 5. It really depends of his army composition. Yeah. If, of course, the opponents go directly to sky units, you will not make any ground units like Colossus, like Immortals or things like this. You will directly make your second Stargate and you will play a SkyToss build order. Don't forget this, if the opponent doesn't play a standard playstyle, you don't need to play a standard playstyle, so you can cut your Colossus production if you don't see any ground units. So here I will defend. Now I will defend. You will see I will start my air upgrades soon. So it scouts me. If the opponent scouts you, it's probably a timing attack. Yeah, it's probably a timing attack. Don't forget this. So that's probably the moment where you need to add, for example, another Stasis Ward and more shield battery. So as you can see, I add my second Stargate and I start upgrades. So now I have 2 Colossus and 3 Colossus now. So here it's a little surprise for me. Yeah, he's playing with a Banshee. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. It does some damage. The best way to deal with units like this is to have 1 shield battery in each mineral line, and if you are a beginner, of course, 1 cannons in each mineral line is a good choice too. So here I will try to kill this, but I don't want to send all my army at the same position. Yeah, I don't want to send them, simply because if he sends two 2 Banshee here, and if he attacks me here, I will probably lose my third base. So I split. It's a little mistake for me, but it's okay. It's still okay because I have a good army composition. As you can see, in terms of supply, is way ahead. So here I try to defend it. Let's check a little bit the map. As you can see, he saved his 2 Banshee, 5 kills here, 4 kills here, and the other Banshee 3 kills. So it's not very good. It's not very good, but it's okay. Simply play defensively. Simply play defensively. It's really important. As you can see here, I add my forge. Most of the time when I make my forge, it's to make some cannons for the defense. As you can see, it's simply a defensive playstyle here. I will never attack my opponent until the 200 max supply. Simply like this. So here I make carriers as soon as I have enough gas, and I will make more carriers. Simply. So in terms of building, I have one tech per base. Here I have 3 base, so I have my robo and 2 Stargate. If I want to play only with a Stargate, for example, if I stop the Colossus production, I will simply add another Stargate to have 3 buildings, 3 technology buildings. So 3 Stargates. Okay. As you can see, I have 1 carrier here with 1 observer in case of 2 Banshee, and the rest of my army is here because I can defend here and I can defend here if he attacks me. And of course, as you can see, 3 cannons, 1 in each mineral line. So now I'm safe against Banshee. Okay. So here I know that I will stop my Colossus production, and I have my third Stargate, and I go to carriers. In terms of supply, I'm a bit behind, but I think that the quality of my army is better, is way better. So he will attack me, and we will see what will happen. Okay, let's go. He will attack me. Keep in mind that when the opponent will be close to the max supply, he will attack you. So don't forget that he will always attack you before before your max supply, because this kind of army takes a lot of times. Okay, so 3 Stargate is here. He will attack me. He sends his marines to trigger this stasis trap, which is really good. And now I want to attack him, but it's hard. You don't have to engage. You don't have to engage the opponent. It's him. So now he split his units. There is 2 Banshee here. Vikings are a bit too far from the army, so I can engage him. And I will simply move. Here I don't micro. I really don't micro. I just attack the opponent and I see what happened. And as you can see, I lose a lot, of course. I go back to the shield battery, but I don't lose more than him. That's probably the most important thing. You don't lose more than him, and you are in a good spot here. I'm in a good spot. Here I use my shield battery, so I boost my shield battery to save my carriers, and you will see that I will hold him. I will simply hold him. Vikings are not really strong against Sky if you don't have the right number of units. So here, if he doesn't have enough units to kill Sky units, you are good. You are simply good. As you can see, I did another unit with the robotic, which is 1 immortal, simply because I need a unit as fast as possible. Don't forget that here I play against a Master 1 player, so it's not a beginner. It's totally not a beginner. But as you can see, it's a hold. It's an hold because he has some tanks, but he can't attack me with his tanks because they don't attack Sky units. And here I just make more units. And in terms of supply, as you can see, I'm in a good position and I can try to expand in my force base. So it can be here, it can be here, or it can be here. But the best position is probably here. It's easier to defend. But don't forget that the opponent can still attack you again, and it will be really hard if it happens. So here I just make more immortals because he has a lot of tanks. So in this situation, immortals are probably better. They are probably better. So here what he will do is simply more sky units, so more Vikings and more Marines, because he knows that my unit composition is based on sky. So it's based on sky, you need more, more anti-air. So as you can see here, I said that the best position is probably here. I choose this position. To be honest, I don't know why I chose this position in this game. I think that it's totally not the best position to take. But okay, I play with this base as the fourth base. And as you can see, in my main base, it's only carriers and carriers, simply carriers, and of course upgrades. In terms of upgrades, the most important are attack upgrades, sorry. Defense upgrades are not very useful. Yeah, you need units, you need many units, you need upgrades, but only attack upgrades. If you have too many guys, of course, you can go to double upgrades, and you can do your defense upgrades and shield upgrades with this forge. So here I defend this base. As soon as I will be max supply, or if I win totally a fight, I will attack. So here, as you can see, it tries to attack me here. It's probably a fake attack, just to spend his units, and yeah, he will go to this position. So here I'm ready to recall. Yes, as you can see, I recall, and I will kill this. When you recall, try to never recall all your army. Always try to recall only what you need. But here, I can't really deal with a drop. If he drops me, it will be hard. It will be really, really hard. But if he drops me, because I have only sky units, I will simply try to defend, of course. But I can go to this position, and he will be blocked in my main base. Okay. At this moment, I have 8 carriers, 3 void rays, 1 immortals. So as you can see, my main composition is carriers. Here I don't need more Colossus, because I know that he will simply play with something anti-air, probably Mass Vikings, so Mass Vikings versus Colossus. It's useless to make Colossus. So here he scan here, he will probably attack at this position. If there is a scan, he will attack me. As you can see, he attacks. So here, it's a run by. If he stays here, I will come with my main army, and it will be a total circle and probably a lose for him. So we will see what will happen. Let's go. So I simply attack him. I simply attack him with all my army. I lose, of course, my second base, but I have a fourth base. It's not really, really important. And yes, let's go. So I attack him, and you will see that carriers with +2 upgrades are just too strong against this kind of thing. Especially if the opponent doesn't really micro his unit like this. And check, yes. Here he simply loses too much. And if he goes to his main base, I will counter-attack. And the counter-attack will be too strong. Here, I'm in a good position in terms of supply, and I can counter-attack him and win the game. Of course, I don't have enough interceptors in my carriers, but I can attack him. I know that if Fear is in a bad position, he needs to take a defensive position. It's too fast. This attack comes too fast, so he can't take the defensive position. Now I will try to attack the most critical point. The most critical points are fourth base. So the fourth base can be here, it can be here. I will choose this position. So we will see. It doesn't have a base here. To be honest, taking this base instead of this base is just really strange, but okay, we will attack. So let's go back to my vision. I go to this base. Okay, there is nothing. So for me, he's probably here, like me. And I will attack. If he tries to do something like this, you will use your probes to attack him, to defend. But yeah, it's not really important. If you lose all your probes, you still win the game because you are in a good position. Okay, I wait for all my units and I attack again. Here he is trying to counter-attack too, but it doesn't have enough to hold me, and my army composition is just too strong for him. So always try to play a passive playstyle when you use this kind of build order. You don't need to attack, it's the opponent who needs to attack, you only need to defend, and as you can see, he's angry. Really angry to lose against this. For me, this kind of build order can cause a lot of frustration for your opponent simply because it's a passive playstyle, but a really strong playstyle. It's the end of this video. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the comment section below. You can of course subscribe to my channel. Thank you again for watching. Bye!